Hey, welcome back everyone. So I'm out here showing you where this forklift will pick up these concrete panels. So this is the trailer that could carry them from the project or the form system over to the building. So this trailer will get really close. The semi truck can just pull it from the corner of the job site where they build the panels over to where the forklift can reach it. So this is the vacuum attachment connecting on to the panel. On a traditional system, you would have pick points up here and crane points, picking it up like that. Then if we go around this way, right there is the vacuum. So that has a vacuum, but it also has a backup generator that's always running in case the machine, for any reason, loses power. Then the vacuum still works. But you'll see this pad that's hitting the window. They'll turn the air off on that one pad so that it no longer tries to lift the panel, and then the other pads will pick up the weight. So what we're going to see is that this pad on the bottom will be turned off, but the next pad up will be turned on. Those little blue valves will just turn them off and on. And you can see him inside. You can see his hand running the controller. That's where he'll turn the vacuum on. You turning that off?
Yes.
Let's see. So if we turn this on, it's sucking air with up against nothing. And then this one's on, this one's off. And that's how you'll get away with windows and stuff like that. So right there you can kind of see the suction. But watch the gauge. You see the compression? You can see that the vacuum suction right there, and then this one's at 0. But see, if I turn this on, it doesn't change because there's nothing to suck against. But this one's slowly going up, more vacuum. Same thing right here. You can see both these are off and this one is on. This is the trailer that you haul panels with. So you have your, excuse me, you have your panel on you're building the panels on the form system over on the corner of the project, not in your prime real estate. And then when you get the panels completed and you're ready for the concrete guy to show up, start swinging panels, then I'll show you this. I'll show you this concrete thing. We'll see if they can grab that panel real quick here. A little bit of a mud mess. These are the panels they already set. So this is the structural fill for the project site, and that machine will drive on here and swing these panels because it goes from a horizontal position like that, and then it will turn like this and then stand up on the building. Let's see. So then you'll shim the height off of the footing right here. And then you'll mount it from the back side. I'll show you how to mount it. Oh, look at this. He lifted it up as if it's a typical load. And now he's pulling it in. And he's able to maintain complete suction. He knows he has complete suction. And if anything changes, then he can set it down. A little bit dark. See, he's able to track that. Even if he has a load chart on his forklift, so he knows what he can handle, what length and angle and all that. So the soil condition, it needs to be stable soil, but it's like a forklift. You know, it's just like a typical load with your forklift. See, even with all of that shaking, it's incredible to see how little it slips. Then I'll show you the face here. So then you have the face. This is the back side with the man door. And as you can tell, where it's going has a jog from the big garage door. This building's about, I'm gonna guess 47 feet tall. I'm not 100% sure. But just like any load, if it tips a little, it's not a big deal. It's just a forklift. That's a typical telehandler with a typical load. And then that. So he can actually spin it this way or this way, all the way around. So you never have to lift it the same way. If he grabbed on that panel off of the other side of the trailer or anything, he could still just swing it the other way. So he's going to bring it up to the building. Another thing is, on a windy day, the highest point ever is the panel. On a typical job site, you have a crane that's extremely high. You have a crane that is that has its boom 50 to 100 feet above the building, depending on how big and everything, and it collects all the wind. But this doesn't collect any wind. If you can see, nothing's tall until we get all the way up, and then it's only the parapet height above the building. So if you're talking about wind, it's super, super quick. Again, this backup generator that you can hear, there's a backup generator running in case the machine loses power for any reason. Then the vacuum still maintains the suction. Also notice, safety-wise, there's not anybody in the fall zone because nobody needs a tag line. There's no reason for a tag line. There's no swinging the big heavy weights. It's See, that's the tallest point right there. That's as high as it ever gets on the building. And he's able to just turn it like it's a regular load. And then he's able to just drive that right into place. He's able to extend out. He can set this thing within a 1/4 inch without even a spotter. He has his spotter on the backside. You can see the spotter in there. He's sighting it with his radio. He's telling him if anything needs to happen. But there's nothing quite like that much control over a panel. I also want to talk to you about how you mount it. Everybody's asking, how do you mount these? There's this little bracket right here. You just screw it into the panel and it holds it side to side. And the inside, there's one of those on every purlin row, every 2 feet. In fact, I'll show you. If I zoom in right here, it'll show you. You can see him holding against the purlin. That's all that holds this thing. So the weight is pushed down into the footing with the weight bearing on the footing, and then the screw will hold it against the building. There's still nobody in the fall zone. Safety-wise, you have nobody that's affected by this machine, or this weight of the load. So he has it tilted a little bit. I want to say it's rolled a little to where this side of the panel is closer to the building than that side of the panel, and then he'll set against this. He'll set this right here good, and then he can just push it against. He has complete machine control with rotating. That's what these cylinders do right here. You can adjust that. Then he's going to set that right down into height. If somebody is sighting whatever's the critical dimension, it's either the top or the bottom or the door or the window. Whatever is reference dimension, then he'll set that accordingly. He just barely twisted it. As you can see, the gap changed right here a little bit. He'll get that fine-tuned and then push it up tight with whatever gap is spec'd in to the drawing. And the finish on this, we actually have a exposed aggregate look. This is the finish for this building right here. So the vacuum can actually suck right against that exposed aggregate look. If we come inside the building, he knows what I'm talking about. That's the purlin screws that hold it's like a Z-clip. There's another one right there. So that will maintain the alignment for the wall. This is a pre-engineered structure that holds the weight of the roof, and then it has metal roof, so it lasts a really long time. This is the inside of this panel he's setting right now. in his spotter. So now that there's one guy inside of, basically close to the panel, but it's after the machine is holding it against the building, so it can't go anywhere. But you see this gap? They're able to maintain that, or to get that gap right there perfect. Then you got your man door, pre-built. See, he just gave him the okay, saying it's perfect. So now they'll put a screw in right here, and it will hold it. And then they'll put more screws all the way up. And then that's it. Hey, James, can you give us a good word? How did it go? That was 16 minutes.
Absolutely amazing. You know what? If we can do it that well by panel number 20, can you imagine we're panel 30, 50, 100, into the thousands? It's going to go incredible. Fine-tune a team, get the right technology. It's absolutely incredible.
Do you think we'll ever get to a 5-minute turnaround?
Absolutely. It's like tuning the flywheel. You know, you find out what the next weak link is, you correct that weak link. We're well on our way. We've got a lot of the right pieces together. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, sweet. Well, that's it, guys. I literally showed you in 16 minutes how to eliminate a crane on your job site. So be safe out there. Have a good one.